welcome back to the channel. So if you couldn't tell, obviously by the thumbnail, we're going to be talking about an oldie but a goodie. I mean, she's not that old. How long ago did Love in the Air come out? Like 3 years ago? Oh, that came out 3 years ago? What even is time? Anyways, so we're going to be talking about Love in the Air because I recently rewatched it, and I do have videos, or a video, I think, about this special episode on my channel still, if I'm not mistaken. But we're going to talk about the series as a whole because I just recently rewatched it, and yeah, there are things we need to discuss. So I watched this series when it was airing, and upon my rewatch, this was definitely one of those series where like you had to be there while it was airing because it just, I don't know, it hit real different when like everyone was watching it and everybody was making like videos about it, everybody was talking about it, because maybe I just didn't notice, or no, I definitely noticed some of the odd choices that were made, but I think because we were all like, y'all know the feeling that you have when like it's like this little community of people watching the series, and you know, you just get so swept up in it, because honestly upon my rewatch I was like, girl, is this what we were really hyping up? Like, we were really hyping this up. Now don't get me wrong, Fort and Pete and Boss and Noel carried this series, okay? Their chemistry, 10 out of 10. They, I fear, may have been the only people that could have made this series like what it is, especially within, I guess, like the Me Mind Y universe, because the plot, oh, she's real questionable. Now, Mame is not my favorite. There is not a series of hers that I've watched where I was like, oh, she ate down. All of her series, I don't understand why she makes her characters very questionable and do really questionable things. Like, I feel like in recent years she's gotten a little better, because her most recent series that I've watched, which has only been Love in the Air and Love Sea, in comparison to the series that y'all, and I say y'all, I don't particularly mean you, but that y'all hype up, which is Tarn Type. To this day, I do not understand the hype behind that series. I get some of y'all be like, oh, you had to be there, you had to be there. Which, with some series, I can understand. But that one? I'm sorry. That is not the point of this video. The point of this video is Love in the Air is not that great of a series, but I can't not watch it, and I do really like it. And here's why. The chemistry between the actors is top notch. Like, Bossa Noel and Fort and Pete, chemistry unmatched, like unreal, like too good. Like, it made the series 10 times better than if anyone else would have done it. Honestly, their chemistry is what kept me tuning in every single week, because we all know that Love in the Air plot, big ass question mark. But that chemistry, tens on tens on tens on tens on tens across the board. So Rain and Payu's story is basically, Payu is like this really smart, really aloof, I guess mysterious, um, what is he? Mechanic. His family owns like a luxury car shop, and but he also is into like illegal biking, but he's also an architect. So like, nepo baby, mechanic, architect by day, illegal street racer by night is Payu's vibe. And then Rain is supposed to be like this really ditzy no, are they engineers or architects? They're architects. Architect student. I think they are freshmen in university. So Payu was like super popular when he was in university, but he's also like this big mystery. But everyone has a crush on him. Everybody wants to date him. Everybody wants to be him. And of course, he is smitten by ditzy little Rain. And their journey starts when Rain's car breaks down. And we later find out, well, the first time his car really did break down. But the second time was a scheme set up by Todd. No, I'm playing. But Payu set that whole situation up. We find that out at like the end of the series, basically, that Payu messed with his car after that big, like, I think it was like a faculty dinner or whatever. Payu tampered with his car on purpose. Which. And so, Rain and Payu's entire relationship is them trying to manipulate each other. So, Rain has this thing of like, oh, I'm gonna make you fall in love with me out of spite, basically. And Payu actually does like Rain, and Payu is going to get Rain to fall in love with him. But Payu wants Rain to think that Rain is falling in love with him on his own accord and not because Payu basically set the whole thing up and is kind of playing into. They're both playing each other. Only Payu has the upper hand in the situation because I'm sorry, but Payu is definitely smarter than Rain, and Rain fell for whatever Payu was laying down every single time. So, the start of their relationship and leading up to them being all lovey dovey with each other, it's questionable. Would I expect anything less from her? Not really. And honestly, without, if let me not say if anyone else would have played these characters, because obviously we'll never know, but I definitely could have seen myself dropping the series if it wasn't for their chemistry and their acting, and also the hype that was surrounding it low key, because the internet, especially TikTok, she was on fire while that show was airing. So Rain and Payu's story was like the lighthearted, chill, supposed to be the quote unquote like fluffy, cute story, because Sky and Papai's story, oh, she was heavy. She was a little dark. So Rain and Payu were supposed to be the balance to that, the light to the darkness. My major qualm with like their story is like Rain's character doesn't really get any character development. If anything, I feel like his character kind of regresses as the series goes on. It's like he gets dumber, and yeah, that wasn't really, he gets dumber, and he wasn't the best friend that he could have been to Sky, because there were some situations where I was like, oh, not you picking a man over your bestie, or like, why would you, why are we not, you guys are supposed to be like best friends, and you're not giving best friend right now, you know, these situations that you're getting into, like, I'm not. I thought that was your best friend. And just, yeah, like I said, I regression, he didn't get any like character development. So then we have Prapai and Sky. Of course, the way that they meet and the way that they get together is questionable. So they meet, of course, at the little racetrack situation, and they're being chased by security. Sky and Rain are being chased by security. Of course, Payu goes and he saves Rain, and then Sky. What the fuck am I saying? Prapai goes to get Sky so that he doesn't get kicked out or reprimanded by security. But of course, that does not come without a hefty price tag. So basically, Prapai prompts Sky to sleep with him in order to get him out of the racetrack, which is like yucky, yucky, yucky. And of course, Sky is like, ew, you're just like all the other nasty, evil little rich boys, because we know that Sky's ex-boyfriend was a disgusting, conniving, deceiving monster. And so, of course, Sky thinks that basically all men are the same, which, from his experience, I see why you think that. So basically, Sky was taken advantage of when he was in high school by his much older weirdo boyfriend. And so he has a lot of trauma behind that. And here comes Papai doing like skeezy stuff that reminds him of his ex boyfriend. So the way that they get together in the beginning, it's no bueno, because then Papai is low key, high key, a stalker, getting all the SIM cards for the phones because Sky keeps blocking him, because Papai keeps blowing up Sky's phone. Obviously, any normal person is gonna block you, because why do you keep calling me and why do you keep texting me after I told you to leave me alone? Then he's popping up at the school, popping up at his dorm. Like, that's a stalker, babes. That's not cute. Of course, ultimately they end up together. You know, Papai helps Sky work through his trauma. Of course, not without a shit ton of miscommunication between the two. They break up at one point, of course, because would it be a BL? Would it be any couple show? It doesn't even have to be a BL. Would it be any sort of romantic show if the couple didn't break up at one point? So their whole thing is, by the end, the evil, nasty little monster of an ex-boyfriend tricks basically the whole friend group and lures Sky to Popeyes' apartment, where he intends to be a nasty little gremlin. But luckily, Sky and the squad, Popeye and the squad being Payu and Rain, get to the apartment in time before, you know. And this is my, not my only qualm, but this one sticks out to me the most. Like everything else, like fix this one. I personally feel like they wasn't doing enough ass kicking for me, and I have skimmed through the novel. In the novel, they was beating ass, and I just feel like in the series, there was not enough ass beating for me. And then Payu being like, "Oh, stop! You'll kill him." Mm, does he deserve to be alive? I don't know. Okay, he didn't have to kill him, but you know, Payu, just can you move? Go beat somebody's ass, and let's get to the ass beating, because what was about to go down in this apartment? Everybody in this bitch deserves to get their ass beat and be pulled out of here on stretchers, in my humblest of opinions. So with that whole scene, that was my only qualm. Like, everybody deserved to get their ass beat several teen times. But the emotion when Popeye and Sky like have their reunite, when Popeye saves the day and they're in the bedroom and he's like trying to get him to talk, trying to get him to cry. No, they ate with that. Their chemistry, 10 out of 10. The emotion in the scene, I was like, oh. But yeah, I don't know how many times I can say the acting and the chemistry. She was 10s across the board. Now that production value, yeah. But you know, I can look past it for the actors, because the plot and the production quality, she was yeah. Overall, like in real life, the series is like a solid like 7 out of 10. Rewatchability, 10 out of 10. I would really love to see the four of them do a series outside of Me Mind Why, because I think that they are very talented, but I feel like they're very limited with these stories, because I've seen Love Sea, and I need to watch the other one that Noelle and Boss are in, but I heard that Boss's character is a stalker, so that's hindering me a little bit. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Love in the Air. This is a safe space, so tell me how you guys feel in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.